30, and then I would, and then if he's not here by 7:30, I don't know what we're gonna do. I don't know if we're gonna. So counselors, I mean, we're supposed to have this livery license. I don't want the detective staying here all night. The guy may or may not show up. If he shows, I asked the detective to take off at 7:30, stay for 20 minutes. If he doesn't show up, and let's say the guy shows up at 8 o'clock, I'm still gonna table it, I think, out of fairness. All right. If they're going to the... But he's not here right now, but he's not here. And the detective knows what he looks like.
And that's the only one,
That's the only reason. Well, give us a little bit of time. Give us till 7:30. Just a reasonable amount. That's reasonable. I am too nice. Tell your friends. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Ordinance Committee meeting. Today is Tuesday, September 9th. This meeting is being conducted via a hybrid meeting. You may remotely access the meeting through the digital platforms such as the Lawrence City Council Facebook page and the Lawrence City Council YouTube page. Pursuant to Chapter 20 of the Acts of 2022, this meeting of the Ordinance Committee meeting is being conducted both in person and via remote participation. A reminder that persons, I didn't say people, why people? One are the people who would like to listen to view this meeting while in progress may either attend in person or access by those two links that I just mentioned. Councilors, we also have, let's do this. Let's stand up for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. We have minutes. Have you seen them in our packets? We don't have minutes. We don't need to approve anything. Okay. All right, so we have no city employees. We have the detective that is here, and we made a commitment that he will spend a reasonable amount of time waiting for the applicant to show up. If the applicant doesn't show up in the next 15 minutes or so, which is a very reasonable amount of time, the detective will leave. He's got better things to do than be sitting around waiting for somebody when they should be here at 7 o'clock. So thank you, detective, and thank you for your patience. We're going to give the courtesy of 15 more minutes for the individual. If he's not here, please, we're going to table the matter. My expectation is to table the matter here until he shows up. All right. We do have folks from the public that are here this evening, and we're going to take them in the order that I have it. The first item, if there's no objection to any of these, I'm going to deal with document number 37625, which is the Old Gold Dealer's License. Counselors, I've been told, if we look in our packets, 370, here it is. What we're looking to do this evening, we're going to invite the individuals to come up, but after they finish their discussion, these 376 and 377 are to the same individual and to the same company. And so what we're going to do, with advice from the city clerk, is that we are going to condense, or we're going to combine those items to an item which is going to be renamed the Old Gold and Secondhand Dealer License. So when the time comes, we're going to, we do, send up 376 and we're going to withdraw 377. So with all of that, welcome. Give us your name and what you're looking for. Start with 376, which is the Old Gold Dealer License.
My name is Wilkinson Diaz. So I'm planning to buy gold and sell used gold too with the license.
So this is a new license.
Yeah.
This will be new. Okay. As I'm going through this, I'm just at the very first page. I am not seeing the sign-offs, but I'm going a little deeper. There's one page here. Maybe it's just a checklist. Okay. Okay. Never mind.
Yeah.
We haven't had somebody looking for this. Can you just briefly, not a lot, we got a lot of people to talk with this evening, very briefly, what is an old gold dealer? What does that mean? What do you do?
So it's like I can buy gold, like use gold, like a scrap gold. I
Scrap.
can melt it. Yeah, I can melt and make like new pieces with that.
You don't melt it or anything. You just, what do you just take it and you fix it and then you resell it, or you fix it for,
I
and
can,
give it
yeah.
back to the
So
individual?
I'm looking for the license. For example, I can resell it too. I can, making the piece like new and resell it too. Yeah.
So that's where the pawnbroker, if they give that to you, that's the pawnbroker element of that?
Yeah. So the pawnbroker one is like to do like pawn like in the store too. It's like to take like, for example, somebody like needs some money. I can make like a loan for them. So the pawn one is for
Right.
that. Yeah.
But the businesses interact with each other.
Huh?
The businesses interact. The old gold dealer, what you do with the gold, you can fix it, is what I'm hearing. I'm having a hard time understanding.
So
you,
for example, it's like that I can buy from somebody. I can fix it and sell it too.
so you can fix it and give it back to them. They're going to pay for you to fix it, and you give it back to them.
Yeah.
Or you take it and then you'll sell it. Or you'll deal with the broker, the pawnbroker, where you keep it, give them money, and if they pay you back within a certain amount of time, you give them their gold or whatever their thing back.
Yeah,
Is that-
exactly.
is
When
that-
they
okay.
so I charge like some like low interest, and when they pay me, I give the merchandise back. So that's for the pound. Yeah.
All right, let me, Counselor, if you don't mind, take a look at 377 as well, because we're going to, like I said, merge this, hopefully, with your approval. Are you, detectives, this is what happens when you stay here long. I believe the police department has a role to play, and I didn't ask you to come here prepared for this, but does that sound familiar to you that on the pawnbroker portion of it, that there's some sort of registration with the police department? Does that ring a bell to you at all?
I don't know if it's still active, but we had some assigned. Good evening. We used to have someone in detectives that tracked all the pawn shops in the city, and they would
Yeah.
have to send in almost an inventory of what they're buying and selling. But I don't know I don't know if someone's still actively doing it. I'm not in that area of the station.
Okay. I don't know if I brought my, did I bring my? I might be able to get us an answer. I brought the wrong device. Let's hope I can get in. I just want to look at the ordinances. Let's do this. Nope, we're coming in through. I don't want to stay here all night waiting for a computer to reboot and then look it up. There we go. Can you ask John to come here? John, could you ask John to come out and help give me a hand? Please. He left. Okay. All right, Counselor, here's my recommendation. I do believe there is a police element that is dictated in our ordinances. There's some sort of review, some sort of understanding, some sort of report. There's some element that I recall, and I just don't have a command as to exactly what that requirement is, but I do believe there's something. I still think it exists. I don't see, unless you saw something in the books, I don't see anything from the police department. What I would advise us to do is this. I would advise us to do a couple of things. One, as I would look for a motion to, wait for Maria to come back. Well, while she's waiting, I would look for a motion to merge document 377 into number 376. Motion has been made.
Second.
Second. What's that? I'm looking for the, oh, I see what you're saying. I think I have it in here. Motion's been, we're gonna merge it anyway. Motion's been made and properly second. All in favor, say aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. So Maria, what that was, we just merged document 377 into number 376. For the purpose, and we can do this right now while I look this up. I'm looking for a motion to withdraw, now that we combine 376. I'm looking for a motion to withdraw number 377, the pawnbroker's license.
Motion to withdraw 37725.
Motion made and properly second. Discussion. Seeing none, I'll call the question. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ayes have it. Now, if we look at our document under the old Golden Second Dealer application, on the checklist, it says contact the police department to be fingerprinted and to obtain a public safety review for the applicant and all employees. Have you done that?
Yeah, so I went to the police department.
Okay, here we
Yeah.
go. Yeah, go ahead. Did you get a Corey? We must obtain a Corey report from the criminal record information in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. Did you get was there a Corey report on the establishment and the individuals who are running it? A Corey, which stands for Criminal Record Information. Is that what it stands for, I think? Was there any Corey, permission to do a Corey check on?
Yeah, so I have
You did
everything.
that?
Yeah.
I see that. Is there a check mark next to that?
So everything they asked me for, I complete everything. The coding, everything.
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, yeah. So
The second thing is fingerprints for applicant and each employee completed. That is not checked off. But the police did sign off on it. This is what I'm
Yeah.
looking for. That's
Yeah,
what I'm
because
looking
it
for.
says code review by Officer Scal.
Okay. I think we're in a good place. Okay. Thank you. We're good. Thank you. That was helpful. Okay. I would also like for us to rename document number 37625, rename it to the Old Gold and Secondhand Dealer License. That's going to be the new name. Withdraw the language that's there right now under that item, and please redo it. That's the accurate name for what we're doing. Are we clear on all this so far? The last one now is going to look for a motion.
Motion to send to the full council to favorable recommendation.
Motion made.
Second.
Seconded. Discussion. Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ayes have it. All right, so here's the game plan. You're set here. We send up with a favorable recommendation, so we think it's a good idea, essentially. The council, full council is going to be voting on it next Tuesday. Thursday. The 18th.
Okay.
So please be here on September the 18th. I'm not going to be here, so you're going to lead this. I'm going to be out. I didn't know. I didn't. What's that? Must be poor planning. I saved Tuesday. I didn't go. Anyway, you're all set.
Okay.
Thank
So
you
I
for
can
coming.
go?
Appreciate you're all set.
Okay, thank you so
All
much.
right.
Thank you.
From this point forward, your only item is going to be 376. That's all you need to know. All right. Thank you. Next document, number 379. This is deal with the fire department. The Grand Marathon, 379.25.
Selena, por favor, si tú puedes traducirle a él.
Can somebody else do it?
No.
Yo no lo puedo hacer, pero vamos a
Pero,
ver si alguien nos puede
¿qué?
ayudar.
Is this all we got? We don't have anybody else?
Ahora no, yo te digo.
There's nobody here, huh?
Gonzalo Gonzalez came helping us to do the
Oh.
interpretation.
I didn't know he was here. What's he here for? Thank you, Counselor. Good evening and welcome. Always good to see an alum.
How's everything? I just miss you guys, you know.
I know. I know.
Dígame.
All right, thank you for your help. Go ahead, sir.
Ok, muy buenas noches, señor presidente de concilio y demás representantes. Mi nombre es Daniel Salas. Ok,
Well, say good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Your name?
Daniel Salas.
Daniel Salas. Go ahead.
Yo tengo 25 años de trabajar como maestro de karate de esta comunidad y he sido reconocido por todos los alcaldes que han pasado por el departamento de la ciudad. Y he venido hoy porque necesito hacer una actividad en la comunidad para ayudar a los bomberos de mi país.
I've been working with the community for the last 25 years, and it's here tonight to request. ¿A dónde va a ser el evento?
En el parque.
You need the, the park. And ¿qué día?
El 20 de este mes, frente al Senior Center.
September 20th. But
Frente al Senior Center.
the other side, in front of the senior citizen.
Okay. The one thing that I'm looking for is to make sure there's no conflicts at the location. I'm looking to see if you received if you talked to the recreation department, did they say that area is free that evening or that day?
Que tiene que primero ir al parque de recreaciones a ver si ese lado está libre para ese día. Y según lo que digan, usted tiene que venir y pedir el permiso.
Creo que sí, está libre, me lo dijeron.
You already asked for the site, and they already told them that it's available.
This is Saturday. El día sábado.
The site that he wants it.
Was he provided a sheet of paper, it's gold, and has the sign off on it?
Un papel ya tenía que dar, ¿verdad?
Yo tengo acá el papel que me dio la muchacha.
Here we go.
Y ahora es que
Bingo.
ella, sí,
Para el parque de recreaciones.
de Senior Center.
He had a paper.
Déselo ahí.
Thank goodness. I'm glad when they get it. Yeah. Just so you know, that's one of the most important parts of this is to make sure that there's no conflicting events going on at the same time. So getting that, we call it the gold ticket. Getting the gold ticket like that is very helpful. That way we know it's available. So that's good.
Ya con eso van a ver, a dar permiso.
You want to release them? Yeah. He's not here, right? I just wanted to get, okay.
Yo quisiera coger un minutito para mostrarle algo que tengo muy importante para mi persona como miembro de esta comunidad por 30 años que tengo viviendo en ella.
He want to show you something that he got it from the last 30 years that he been serving the community.
Ok, aquí tengo un reconocimiento
I know that guy.
En el tiempo que estuvo ahí me hizo este reconocimiento. También tengo otro muy importante para mí, una persona que me trató con mucho carácter en esta ciudad. Me dio la medalla de la ciudad de Lawrence, Matt Sullivan.
Wow. You're due for a new
And the
mayor.
one certificate.
All right. Yeah, that's not happening.
Well, you need one for the person.
Yeah.
Next is my citizen Barack
That
Obama
makes
for
you
me.
happy.
Next for you, por último. This is medal the United States for
I
my
see.
service in United States.
Wow. Yeah, that's a familiar photo. Sure. Yeah. I had a lot of favorites. Yeah. Top 45.
Brian De Peña.
There we go.
Brian De Peña is in my certificate for this
Okay.
for good master
All right,
in the
all
city.
We're good. Can I ask a question in all seriousness? This is good, and you should be tell me you should be very proud of all the support that he's gotten from elected officials. It's very impressive. So it's a fundraiser. How are they raising the money at this event? And all this is a fundraiser, ask him, and if they are, how are they raising money?
¿Cómo el dinero que va a recoger todo eso?
Yo lo voy a reportar al área a fin de año.
Y say, tiene una,
Ya yo tengo sí,
una cuenta.
sí, tengo una cuenta en el banco y
Everything he raises, he got an account in the IRS and everything.
How is he raising the money? Does he have like lotteries going on? Is there, what is he? Is he selling chances? I mean,
la gente lo da cash y lo dan en cheque.
Yeah.
Todo llevo un control de todo lo que me dan.
Oh, so he's not selling anything. You're asking people to come and donate. Is that what it is? Okay, so it's not like, okay, that's how he's raising money. Please come and donate to the cause. Okay. Okay.
Deposit, yes.
And remind me again what the cause is. What is the cause? What are you raising money for?
Para la organización que tiene en Santo Domingo.
Aquí tengo registrado mi organización en el City Hall. También tengo mi registración de la República Dominicana.
All this money goes to the Dominican Republic.
Y si certifica de Dominica Republic.
So you're raising money for the firefighters in the Dominican Republic. Okay. Okay.
Uno más, finish.
Oh, you're good? All right. Wait, as far as
This is more important for me for in United States. The City Hall de Santiago, Dominican Republic, for me, hijo distinguido de Santiago, por mi trabajo.
He's the best son down there with the town that he worked for. They recognize him.
they recognize, well, that's very impressive. I'm all set, counselors, and thank you. Is there a motion or a comment or whatever?
Motion to send to the full council with a favorable recommendation.
Second.
Motion made and properly second. Any discussion? Seeing none, I'll call the question. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ayes have it. Please come on September 18th at 7 p.m.
El 18
Pasar para acá el jueves. Ok. Quería mostrarle en las condiciones por qué la razón nosotros estamos haciendo esto. Los bomberos de mi país están sufriendo de muchos equipos, están en necesidad. Es bueno que se lo exprese para que. Por eso estamos haciendo esto. Y la comunidad de ese pueblo está apoyándonos, conjunto con la alcaldesa de ese pueblo. Sí. El jueves, ok. Pues está bien, thank you.
guys. Counselor, what item are you here for tonight? Why are you here? Are you here for an item?
No, I have nothing to do.
You're, okay. If one of us leaves, you might have to fill in for the quorum, so don't go too far. All right.
Don't take that because we have one council waiting.
All right. Next item, counselors, is, and thank you, Counselor, appreciate your help, is document number 38025, no parking Irving Ave. Irving Ave, Hampshire Street and Bennington Street from 7 to 7.
Good evening, Council.
Good evening.
My name is Patrick Bruce, and I'm here to represent Clean River Project.
Okay.
Good evening, and thank you for allowing me a moment to speak. My name is Patrick Bruce. I'm here on behalf of Clean River Project. As many of you already know, we've been committed for years to cleaning up the environment, especially right here in Lawrence. Recently, we've been focusing our attention on the Spigot River and the Irving Avenue area, which has been the subject of concern on our Facebook page in the past and among local residents. This area has seen a buildup of trash, drug activity, and illegal dumping, which not only threatens the health of the environment, but also the safety and morale of the neighborhood. I'm proud to say that Clean River Project has stepped in and began actively cleaning up the area, but what's even more encouraging is that the local residents are getting involved. Stepping up, helping with cleanups, are now in the early stages of forming a neighborhood watch. This kind of community engagement is exactly what we hope for. It's not just about cleaning up the riverbanks, it's about rebuilding community pride. One change that would make a real difference is implementing a no parking ban from 6 p.m. to 7 a.m. policy on Irving Avenue. We believe this simple step could help deter illegal activity during the night and support the efforts already underway by both Clean River Project and the neighbors. This is a great start for Irving Avenue and potentially a model for other parts of Lawrence. We've always believed that cleaning up the environment goes hand in hand with uplifting the community, and we're committed to seeing this effort through. Thank you again for your time. So we've noticed that there's just been a lot of trash dumping, and ever since we cleaned up the area, it seems like the community is starting, helping out, participating, and cleaning up on their own, taking initiative. So it's been very good to see. And he owns a garage right on Irving Avenue.
Yeah.
Is it Irving? Right there.
Police department, what are we doing? Counselor?
Through you, Chad, I actually took a walk through that area
Rocky?
with Rocky when they were on the other side by the Central Catholic. And then a week after, he actually called me in and we walked through Irving and the work that they're doing, it's amazing coming in. And coming out of my house, coming this way, I always take Bennington and take a look up to Irving Ave. And there were some cones put in for them to work, and I visualized this item and the cones there. I say, this is how they want it, no cars, right? But the way Rocky explained it to me is they want it, and also the business owner, although in agreement of cars parking overnight and using that park space to dump everything on the river on that side. So already the city is spending a lot of money just to clean up in combination with Clean River Project, but it's coming amazing. So if we can, I'm all in agreement. It depends when the police department comes back, right? Mm-hmm. And I think it's going to make a difference. Right now, it's looking, neighbors, I talked to some neighbors, they're waiting, they have the signs up on neighbor watch, and they're waiting to call if they see anything after hours. So they all working together, which I haven't seen in a while in a neighborhood, but they wanted to try to keep it the same way. The business owners also told us that the cars and all stuff that go there and dump all kinds of trash, and he wants to stop that. So it was a great walk, and I encourage my colleagues to go and see Rocky and everything they're doing right there by the river, which is great.
I'm looking, I'm looking for a motion, but the only thing did you want to say something?
Yeah.
Go right ahead.
How you doing? My name is Uriel Lopez. I own a business right on Irving Ave, 279 Irving Ave. I've been having that business for like 18 years already. So I'm there pretty much every day, and I know what's happened, like what happened at nighttime. Just pretty much people park there to drink, smoke, and have sex. And Irving Ave and the side of the river is no houses there. So pretty much it's empty all the time. People come at nighttime there just to do all those kind of things. And at the end, they just put the trash on the sidewalk. And I don't know if you guys, I was talking to Mr. Rocky about no parking at nighttime. I think it's going to help a lot. The river is looking alive right now. It's looking beautiful. I'm happy for that. And I wish you guys consider that option, because we don't have no houses there that people to park, like from Hampshire to, I'm gonna say Alma Street. Right in front of Alma to Saratoga, I know there's houses and people needed to park at nighttime. I understand that. But pretty much, and the other end I mentioned before, is no houses to park there. I don't know how you guys can do that. Maybe parking for like the streets near that, they usually park there. But pretty much at nighttime, just people park there and they dump trash. And I see, like, when I go home, like, let's say I close my business at 6, and some part it looks clean, and when you come back the next day, it's trash there. So that means pretty much all the dumping trash happens at nighttime. I'm talking about the small trash. People dump like beds and couches, tires. Honestly, I don't know what time they come to do that. And I'm really happy with the job Mr. Rocky is doing. He put barrels of trash there. And that river looks beautiful right now. I don't know how long he's gonna be in that area. Honestly, I don't know. And but I don't know what's gonna happen if you don't have those barrels of trash there. That's my worst. Thank you for your time.
The next step is to send them to the police, and they will go and check the area. And they're the one that come back and bring us a report. But if we can send that to the police and also update the hours, on the agenda, say 7 to 7, and they requested from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. to 7 a.m., that will work better. And also if we can put a little urgency on the police to check that, because they're actually working on that area, and it will be good if we can put that with a little urgency so they can go and check it out as soon as they have availability.
What's the new time that you're looking for? It's
6 p.m. to 7 a.m.
6 p.m. to 7 a.m. Looking for a motion to amend this proposal to be from 6 p.m. to 7
So
a.m.
moved.
Motion made and seconded. Discussion. Seeing none, I'll call the question. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ayes have it. This item has now been amended to 6 p.m. to 7 a.m. And hopefully from this point going forward, when we lead the meetings, we'll see that change on there so we don't make the mistake of saying 7 to 7.
A motion to send to the police department for the review, and if you can put a little urgency on it, will be great on that note. Thank you.
Motion has been properly made and properly second. Discussion. So I'm very curious to see how this works. I have a lot of questions regarding it. I'm not expecting an answer. Question is some people are looking to drop trash there or do that. That trash is going to be dropped somewhere. If it's not there, where is it being dropped? So are we moving the problem? I'm not saying this is a bad idea. Trust me, I'm going to be supporting it if the police department comes up with a good idea. But I'm just wondering, where is the trash going? If you want to dump a bed and you can't dump it there, you're going to dump it somewhere else. So the point that I'm making here is that we're essentially moving a problem potentially from one place to the other. I don't know if we're actually changing behaviors. Because to get the kind of systemic changes we're looking in our city, to make our city look clean, our residents, the people who drive or go through our city, we are the ones that are going to make the city clean. We can't be relying on Rocky every couple of years to come in, pay whatever we're paying for them to do the cleanup, because that's a very inefficient way of doing it. And the question I asked at the full council meeting when we adopted the grant or provided the money was, what are we doing to make this long-term and sustainable? Because, and this may be a good step for that neighborhood, and I applaud it. But the question is what are we doing? And I've yet to hear a solid response. I'm not putting you on the spot. It's a bigger question than what you can answer. So please don't take it personally. I'm not directing it at you. But we, as a group, as a city, we haven't figured out a way to really address this issue. And we're constantly doing Earth Day cleanups. We're constantly doing all this stuff, and it looks great for a day or two, and then it goes, things happen. So, Councilor, you want to say something?
I mean, the way they doing it, or the way Rocky's doing, I liked it. I mean, he got me involved when I was on the side of my district, which was behind Central Catholic, and also he was engaging with the neighbors and put the responsibilities. The neighbors are taking responsibilities on watching this and keeping this clean. That's why the neighborhood watch, the signs are all up. And there's people also that go and ask questions. So if I call, what's going to happen? So they are engaging, and they are liking what's the changes that are coming through that. So hopefully that will help to change their behavior. And hopefully we can enforce enough and publicize what we're enforcing so people change their behavior too.
I appreciate that. Motion's been properly made and properly seconded. I'll call the question. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ayes have it. You heard the motion. Do you understand what we're doing? We're looking for some sort of review and a report from the police department, essentially taking a look at that area and saying, is this a good idea? Traffic-wise, is there any problems with traffic flow, et cetera, with something like this? How will it work? That's the kind of thing. They advise us. They're not making the decision. We are full council, but we're looking for their advice. That's all. So we'll have to wait for them to come back, and Councilor has asked for it accelerated. Maybe they can get to us a little faster than usual. That's what he asked for. So we'll see if we can do that. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
All right, thanks.
All right.
Thank you.
All right, have a good night. All right, next item, we have the packets right here. Document number 27925. Let me see if I can find that. It's on June 17th in your books. I did, and I was gonna I'm not gonna ignore you, you're gonna come up, I'm just looking for the document. I think I found it.
Good evening, councilors. My name is Jeffrey Petrillo, and I live at 341D South Broadway, and we're here to discuss and answer why we're here and what our expectations are. Okay, so I just want to begin by also saying that Councilor LaPlante asked me months ago to look something up for him, and it's about the Mass or the City of Lawrence fines on zoning laws or zoning law violations. And originally he said that he thought that it was not more than just $300 per day. That is not what the statute reads. It also says that some cities have a higher maximum fine limit for certain things. But this present city state law states, and state law states that fines are $300 per day per violation. So that's per violation. So if we got, like say, in lot number 18 and versus the fringe of lot number 19 as it meets lot number 18 that faces South Broadway, if we got 29-9, no junkyards are allowed in any district or any zone. If we got 29-11 violations, if we got 29-23, number 2, number 4, and number 6, then we got $1,500 per day in violations. So I just wanted to get that out of the way and clarify. Okay. So you're probably asking yourself, and I think you said something like what you are asking for committee and city council to do, and that has to do with expectations. It does. So what we're asking the committee or the councilors to do in terms of why we're here is to give the councilors a sense of awareness as to what zoning laws have been violated by A&M Auto Body on lot number 18, as well as on the 8 to 10 foot fringe that's from the building out to the lot's borderline as it meets lot number 18, which both lots face South Broadway. So as to give you knowledge to the council, so as to what our expectations are and should be in accordance to the laws. In this way, we can discuss law enforcement, past and present, by sharing knowledge, and therefore the councilors can tell us what action they can do that is applicable to stop violations stop violations and zoning violations at lot number 18 with zoning enforcement.
Is that the answer, Mr. Petrillo, to my question? And it's cogent, and I understand the answer. Is that the answer?
I'm not finished.
Oh, I'm sorry, continue. About the question, what can the council do? Is there more to that?
Yes,
Okay,
there
go
is.
ahead.
We base our complaints on the fact that ordinances or laws ordinances or laws passed by our local Lawrence government to regulate behavior and establish rules for the community regarding topics such as zoning and public safety concerns. And the ordinance committees are part of a municipality or a local government who research specific ordinances such as zoning ordinances or matters that deal with public safety, etc., then discuss their potential impact and then make recommendations for the full city council to approve or reject. And last, what we are seeking is zoning enforcement for future, for the future, as well as zoning awareness. And after that, we are seeking closure because, as I said in my narrative, we're not career litigants. We don't want to be here forever. So these are our reasonings for being here. And I'd like to get into this by next. The first thing up is,
Let me stop you right there, Mr. Petrillo. So is that, I got 3 elements that you think the council needs to know about or needs to act on. 3 things. Let me rehash. The first you said was awareness. You want us to be aware of your particular situation and the impact that the ordinances have or do not have and the way that it's applied to your situation. That's number 1. Number 2, what you said is the council can do proposals, new ordinances to start dealing with it, especially what this committee's, one of its responsibilities is to review proposals that could go ahead and to address whatever the issues are. And number 3, you're looking for enforcement of the various ordinances that are currently already on the book, and you're wanting the council to somehow be involved in the enforcement of that matter. And correct me, go ahead and correct me.
okay, the council can enforce.
Correct.
They can enforce.
That's right.
So, no, we're only making you awareness, the awareness is of the zoning laws that should be enforced for the future. Okay?
Mr. Petrillo, how often have you been before both the full city council and the ordinance committee talking about this particular issue? And I'm not saying right or wrong, but there has been, I don't know, you keep excellent notes. So you probably know how many times you've come before the council and before the ordinance committee and talked to various counselors and department heads and making them aware of what's going on. You have been tireless, to your credit, tireless. You are energetic, and you're an amazing advocate for what you're trying to accomplish here. There's no denying that. But if the first part is awareness, and you've come multiple times to make us aware of the situation that you're finding in,
Not
the
the
court
situation,
case,
the laws.
the court case that you've been involved in about the property. I mean, I think you've done a very respectable job of getting information to us, considerable information over years. Even before maybe some of these councilors were probably on the council.
I actually think his narrative is longer than my presentation. But go ahead.
That's my comment. I mean,
Okay.
if it's awareness,
Well, you have to be aware of the laws that are being violated in order to have any expectations. Any expectations.
Okay.
And like I said, in the end, we can share a discussion and we can have like a meeting of the minds as to what you can do. And I don't know because I haven't done my presentation. So
you don't know what we can do. There's no a request for us to take
I
action.
have an
because you're not
idea
sure
what
that
you're
is.
supposed to do.
What is? Let's get right to it. What should we be doing? Because I want to know what the motion is going to be by the time we finish this discussion this evening. What is the motion going to be before this council?
Okay, after I get done telling you, first of all, I wanted to speak about Kitty versus the city of Springfield, all right? So you've kind of taken that one away from me. I wanted to speak about Title 12 in the Lawrence Code of Ordinances bylaws, and I also wanted to speak about, last but not least, the 4 documents that I gave to you.
So, Mr. Petrillo, I will ask you this because what we are interested in doing is we are interested. I'm going to expand, and if my colleagues don't agree, you guys can say it. We're interested in knowing what we can do. What is it concretely that we can do? From what I can see so far, in listening to your multiple and detailed explanations, is that it's enforcement that you're dealing with. You've gone to the courts. The courts have issued their decisions.
The awareness for enforcement, you're just picking out enforcement and you're grasping onto that.
I am.
Like you're clinging onto that. That's not what we're here for. We're not here for enforcement.
You want to know? I'm sorry.
What
you want
I
to know
also said,
Yeah.
that it seemingly went over you, was that,
You don't need to be. You don't need to be nasty, Mr. Petrillo.
what?
You don't need to be pejorative about it. I'm being very respectful, so please be
I
respectful
am
to the
being
chair.
respected, really
Please.
I am, sir.
Okay,
I am.
please.
I did say to you that as part of the ordinance committee, in the end, what they do is they discuss the potential impact and then make recommendations for the full city council to approve or reject. We have items over here just for that.
What items are those?
One is the Kitty versus City of Springfield.
That's not before us. Is that before us? Is that before us tonight? This is a court case? What is before us this evening that,
No, Kitty versus the City of Springfield,
looks like a court case?
no.
Kitty versus the city of Springfield. Okay, what is it?
Okay, sir. You keep interrupting me. And Kitty versus the City of Springfield is a state Supreme Court
Okay,
judgment that was made in 1961.
okay.
And the reason why I'm here is because that on November 7th, 2024, let me see what the item number was.
I'm gonna give him 5 minutes.
The agenda number was 358/24. And what you did was,
I want you to finish your thought. Council Del Rosario has a question, and then we're gonna go right back to you. Finish your thought. I want you to finish. And then I want Council Del Rosario, who's got a question that's probably germane to this, to ask this question. Go and finish your thought, Mr. Petrillo.
okay. Kitty versus the City of Springfield is a state Supreme Court case that does not allow a denied or defeated petition to come back to the city council 2 years. What's been done here on November 7th, as we were prepared to speak, but then we were told to sit down because we can't speak, and we looked at each other like, why are we here? So what you did was, at that meeting, sir, and I spoke to Dan McCarthy about this, and he's also given a little bit of literature on this as well, is that you asked for the petition to be withdrawn in front of the entire 9 members of the city council, and they said yes. So what we said was, that's wrong, because you also, I believe, ended it by saying that we'll see you back in 1 year, because that's what, I guess, the council's agreed on. That's not true. I can't remember the exactness of it, but I do know this. It says right here, Mass General Law, Chapter 48, Section 5 and 6 states, no proposed zoning ordinance or bylaw which has been unfavorably acted upon by a city council or town meeting shall be considered by the city council or town meeting within 2 years after the date of such unfavorable action, unless the adoption of such proposed ordinance or bylaw is recommended in the final report of the planning board, which, by the way, received an unfavorable recommendation. And that was again the second planning board meeting on September 11, 2024. We're not going backwards in time to the August 1st, 2018 planning board report. So that's the first matter. And what we're here for is to ask for the original thing, which was supposed to be denied because it was defeated. So when it's defeated, it's denied. And if it's denied, it's 2 years, not 1 year. So what we can do, I think, in terms of awareness, is be aware of what I just said, because it is a Mass General state law, and nobody in this room can change it, neither I nor you. And what it says is it's 2 years, not 1 year. So what we'd like to happen is that you come back to the city council with a recommendation that somewhat says that it's 2 years, not 1, and that Mr. Caruso and A&M Auto Body gets to come back in November 7th of 2026, not 2025. That's part of the reason why we're here.
We passed November 1st, 2025.
Well, it's because...
We're about to pass it pretty
It's
soon.
because you
coming
said
quickly.
1 year.
Got it.
1 year from the time it was defeated. It was defeated actually on November 7, 2024. We were all here. So it was 1 year, that's a mistake. It's supposed to be 2 years, which would make it November 7th, 2026. Are we agreed?
Can you bring that, is that document in any of these things that you've given us? That citation?
No, it's not, sir.
Okay.
But Dan McCarthy I've got a bunch of documentation that I just received today, okay? And part of it has Dan McCarthy talking about 40A, Section 5. And what he meant by it was, in fact, I got an email that was sent directly to Dan after talking to him. Oh, no, it was directed to Eileen Bernal. I spoke to Dan McCarthy yesterday. He told me that the wording used by Mark LaPlante should have been worded at the last ordinance meeting to deny A&M Auto Body's petition, not withdraw the petition. You see the difference? There's a little bit of a difference. Dan said he will speak to you, Mark, soon, and definitely before the upcoming November 7, 2024 City Council meeting. I don't know if that happened. I wasn't there. I don't know what happened. But that's what he said. And Eileen Bernal and I spoke about this in 2024. And obviously it didn't happen because at a recent court hearing on August 12th, we learned right from the mouth of Councilor Caruso, who said, and we're prepared to go back in about another month or two back to the City Council. That would mean September and October, he's going to begin to petition to change the zoning for lot number 18 and probably lot number 19 as well. Again, that's what he said. So I can only take the man at his word. That's what he said. That's why we're here, for this part. That's number one.
All right, we'll take a challenge, Mr. Del Rosario.
No, somehow in his explanation, he actually answered my question, because my question was going to be, what kind of resolution are you looking for? But you already...
The resolution or the expectation of this is to move it to 2 years to November 7th of 2026.
So
End of story.
That's what I was going to ask. I mean, you're coming over and over and over and over. I was going to ask, I mean, and I give it to you. I mean, you've been fighting this. I've been here 4 years, and I've been seeing you, so they've been longer than me. So, and I give that to you. But that was the question, and now you answer, by reading, you answer what you're looking for as a resolution, so he's to put it back instead of a year, 2 years. So I don't know how is that done, but he just answered that.
Okay, next. We're talking about the full excavation and that happened on January 2nd of 2019. No fines, no nothing. No citations were issued by the city, either from the fire department or as well as from Peter Blanchett. And while I'm on the subject, I'd like to say, yeah, I know. I'd like to say that I'm not picking on Peter, but going back to once Judge Liu made his March 29, 2021 decision, his ruling in order, I came to the city along with my wife Sandra, and we had a meeting up in the mayor's chambers, and he said that he would appoint Peter Blanchett, not Pat Ruiz, not the DIS director, not anybody from DIS. He said, I'm going to appoint Peter Blanchett to be in charge of this investigation and make sure that all the zoning laws and violations are kept up to date. Okay? So, here we go. And this is, again, for awareness of what the city laws are. So it says basically no excavation or curb cut permits for lot number 18. On lot number 18 was the excavation on January 2nd of 2019. He doesn't have any permits for that. And not only that, he was digging with a claw within 3.5 meters of our property line where there's gas lines. So anyway, that covers that. The curb cut was back in October of 2005. It was done over a weekend, in our opinion, on the sneak. And all this has to do with violations of Title 12 in the city charter, where the owner failed to, under Title 12, 08, He failed to notify the abutters. Number 2, under Title 12.08.20, did not give fair notice to the city council to ask for a hearing, and therefore no city council hearing took place. Therefore, no permits were issued for both the curb cut and the excavation that happened on January 2 of 2019. And lastly, number 3, Title 12.08.30 plus Title 12.08.40, when no city council hearing took place, there were no records of cost in construction and maintenance, and therefore there was no record of collection of assessment, which is what I said long ago, as you pointed out, and for many years. What it simply was an off-the-books curb cut and excavation, so that, hear me out now, when the owners get notified by the city, they go, I don't know what you're talking about. You know why? Because there's no records. They deny. And they say, that curb cut happened way back in 1989, 1990, when the Petrillos first got there. That's a lie. It happened in October of 2005. And I'll give you 10 guesses who didn't enforce it. All right? So
What was the citation for the curb cut? 12 point what?
it's under Title 12. In other words, when you want to do a curb cut, right?
No, I want to know the citation. Just give me the citation, please.
There is no citation.
I thought you just cited the law.
I'm citing the law. You said citation. Citation is like a fine to me.
No, I'm sorry. There's two definitions of citation. I'm not talking about the monetary citation. I'm talking about the legal citation, which is...
It's under Title, if you look
12
under
point
Title
what?
12.
12
Title
what?
12. You look under the first one. It's 12.08.10. That's a failure to notify the abutters. That's the first one.
Yeah.
The second one is Title 12.08.20. That's where the petitioners, or, the person that did.
Which is the one that comes before the council? Which is the one that says that the council's involved? Which one? 12 point what? You said there was a public hearing. You said something about the city council having a hearing.
Okay. Yeah, you're supposed to petition for a city council.
What's the citation? What is that?
That's 12.08.20. Did not give fair notice to city council to ask for a hearing, and therefore no city council hearing took place.
Got it. Thank you. That's all I needed to know.
Okay. And of course, the last one that I gave you is, there's no
We got
records
it.
of
Move
assessment.
on to your next point, please.
Okay, next point. Thank you.
How many more points do you have, out of curiosity? That's it, the last point. All right, go.
This is the last point. That's why I told you. I got it all organized. All right. I gave you 4 documents, and I'm going to break them out, but I'm not going to go through them individually, but I am going to point out some areas. First of all, the first document pertains to Judge Liu's ruling and order, and I know that you guys have seen this around for at least the last probably 4.5 years. And it basically says that A&M Auto Body is enjoined for not doing anything regarding commercial zoning. The only thing that they can do on that lot is regarding a residential R2 zoning designation. Okay, so they're not allowed to store anything on there. They're not allowed to do anything on there. All right, and he also, what he did was, in the same thing that I was talking about was Kitty versus the city of Springfield, he did the same thing, and he ordered it and judged and declared that the November 7, 2018 vote of the City Council of Lawrence allowing the petition of A&M Auto Body, in other words, the revote, and there's only one person here, it's you, that experienced that, and I have to commend you, sir, because you broke out the law book and you told the city council along with Clerk Maloney, we can't do this, because essentially what you're doing is you're voting against your own rules and laws and ordinances, if that's the way you want to put it. So that was the first one. Then came the best one yet. It came the January 25th, 2018, notice of decision. It's a decision summary of the ZBA that happened as a result of the January 25th meeting. So in here, it says certain things like, Attorney Caruso said that this lot has always been associated with the auto body shop that is located adjacent to it. That's not really true. First of all, if we want to go historically back, this lot was owned originally in 1922 by the Butler sisters, and then in 1960, their executors sold it to Stephen Bryan Sr., who's been known to be a developer in the city of Lawrence way back in the 50s and 60s. Well, he couldn't use it, and he eventually grew old and tired of waiting for any law changes, and that coming from John Sorois or Louise Ferris, the building commissioners from the 1970s, 80s, and 90s, and so on, and even up to, I think, around 2006. Most importantly, he goes on, he said that this owner and the previous owner of the adjacent lot have parked cars on it for 30 to 40 years. He said that the Martineau family sold it to the current owner of A&M, who is Angelo Memolo, who has traditionally used it for overflow of cars. How can you do that? When we discussed this at the September 11, 2024 Planning Board meeting, we had Glenn Valletta. If you look at the report, Glenn Valletta came up here and he told the entire panel, who then asked him, well, what was on lot number 18 that prohibited the parking of any cars for overflow of body work? And he said, there was about 30 trees. There was a small building towards the back, about maybe 10 by 10, 10 by 12 brick building that was overgrown by trees popping out through the roof, and so on and so forth. He also testified to answer the question of, I'm going to say, someone like you, sir, Mr. Del Rosario. You probably would be asking the question, well, what are we talking about in terms of growth, and what was on the lot that would have prohibited any cars from being parked on there from the 1960s to 2010, and, in a 30 to 40 year period? And he said, put it this way, I was the bulldozer operator, and I'm telling you right now, I couldn't even drive a bicycle through the bushels, what we call them brambles in construction terms. They're intertwined bushes that grow along the ground, maybe 3, 4, 5, 6 feet high. And then between the trees, there was like 30 trees on the lot. So you couldn't have possibly parked any cars.
What's the point here? You're relitigating something from an earlier planning or court
I'm
hearing.
not doing that, sir. I'm just pointing out a couple of comments that were made so
Okay.
that we can get a grasp on things. Okay. And then Attorney Brian Corrigan, who then was the city attorney, stated that he was present to represent the building inspector's office. He said that the fact is that both the improved lot and the adjacent lot are both located within an R3 zoning district. Attorney Corrigan stated that this business, A&M Auto Body, owned by Mr. Memo, is a grandfathered business. However, this nonconformity cannot be expanded into the subject lot, meaning lot number 18. Attorney Corrigan goes on and stated that the lot is basically all grass. He noted that Mr. Patrol, the immediate abutter, okay, he goes on to say, Attorney Corrigan stated that the lot has been vacant for approximately 60 years, and that was back in 2018, and is not an accessory use to the business. It is not grandfathered.
Okay.
A parking lot in an R3 zone is prohibited, and there is no special permit option under 29-11, which is what I'm pointing out to you. And that's under, knowledge and awareness. And the revised ordinance to allow such use. Furthermore, he stated that this was not an appropriate location for this use. Okay? Then it goes on to mention something that we're challenging. It's the usage, it's Attorney Caruso's continuous usage of what we called a 333 old accessory card from what is it? The Chief Assessor's Department is where he got it from. And I can tell you this, the copies that I got from Linda Hadam 2 or 3 weeks after she gave the exact same copies to Mr. Caruso are not identical. There's a couple of changes that have been made to his documents, and I don't want to comment any further on that. But anyway, to wrap this up, it said upon a roll call and a vote, it was actually 5-0. And at the end of this ZBA meeting, I think that there was something profound said, and that was by Director Consoli, when he told, before Attorney Caruso and Mr. Memolo got up to leave, he said, hold on, I want to speak to you for a second. He said, right now, the vote is 4-0, but we're going to pretend that it's 2-2. I just want to let you know, if you plan on coming back, my vote would be no. Okay? So I wanted to point that out.
Okay.
Next document has...
How many more documents are there, Mr. Patrick? Because I am reading your document from June 11, 2025, and I'm just I want to satisfy why you're here. So are you almost done with why you're here?
Yes, I just got these two. These are the documents that I gave you this afternoon.
So we have these documents already, now you're just reading them to us.
Yeah, you have these documents.
So you satisfied the awareness portion by providing us the documents.
This vote is to say that on October 16, 2018, he didn't even carry the city council vote. There's
Okay.
another loss.
Okay. All right.
I also pointed out in my original document that we've had six visits to the city, 6, okay? We've had 2 visits to the Superior Court. We won them all, but what I said was, what did we really win? Because the guy's been over there for 8, almost 9 years, doing the same thing with no enforcement. That's why there comes the awareness. What I wanted to point out to you is what I thought was an excellent document written by Dan McCarthy on September 13, 2018. You have it in your packet, okay? And he gives a factual basis for denial. He also gives a procedural basis for denial. And basically what he's saying is that if we allowed Mr. Memolo to do what he wants to do, there would be chaos, because you'd have every garage owner lining up out of City Hall, down Essex Street, so on and so forth, and saying, you gave it to Mr. Memolo, now you got to give it to me. So in the end, what he said was that what Mr. Memolo is attempting to do is known as spot zoning. And what he says was the legal parlance for what the petitioner is attempting to do is typically referred to as spot zoning. Spot zoning arises where a zoning change is designated solely for the economic benefit of the owner receiving special treatment and is not in accordance with a well-considered plan for the public welfare. Okay? Now, there are various state cases that I could quote, but I'm not going to waste your time. So he goes on to say this issue is that what concerns the planning department the most by allowing individuals to change the zoning map with no plan or reference to the needs of the community or goals laid out in the master plan. The city will be left with a mosaic of special interests which ignore the needs of the city's residents or the neighborhood's existing makeup. Okay. He furthermore goes on to say in the end, the applicant had the opportunity to appeal the building commissioner's denial to use the property commercial and was unsuccessful. He also had the opportunity to seek a special permit to amend or extend his non-conforming use, which you probably heard me say if you refer to the January 25th, 2018 ZBA report. There is no special variance permit option for A&M Auto Body to use lot number 18 commercially. That's it. So he further goes on. He also had the opportunity to seek a special permit to amend or extend his non-conforming use under zoning ordinance 29-13. They chose not to do that. Instead, they are seeking what he called the nuclear option, change the law to fit the need. This should be a remedy of the last resort and should be done with the city's input and assent.
Is that all Dan McCarthy's memo that we have? Are you just reading Dan McCarthy's memo?
Yes.
Okay, that's Dan McCarthy's memo.
You have it.
Which, that we have it, so you're reading what we already have.
So finally, he
Okay.
says, on August 1st, 2018, the Lawrence Planning Board reviewed this matter and sent its opinion to the council with an unfavorable recommendation. We believe that determination was correct and urge that this petition be denied, which it was per this document, which says the vote.
Okay.
That completes that,
All right,
okay?
we good?
So,
Is that it?
well, no.
No.
Here comes the laws part.
I thought you said there was only one more left, and now there's two more.
No, I said that there's one more document that I gave you to be left. Now we got those zoning violation laws. 29-9, and this comes under, you know, your knowledge and so on and so forth. 29-9 says that no junkyards are allowed in all zones. It doesn't matter if you had industrial zone, business zone, commercial zone, or residential zone. It's not allowed, period. No dumpsters or storage of what they call waste disposal are allowed. He had 2 dumpsters out there. You know, we had mice coming in our house. They ate 3 of our couches, over $6,500 to $7,000 worth of damage. Who's going to pay for that? I mean, I told Councilor Reyes about this, and she was like, what? And people say the same thing, but it is true. I mean, my wife is right here, and she can attest that we had 3 leather couches in our living room eaten, and we saw the mice. They scram when they hear you coming. So anyway, there's no vehicles over 2 tons, and he had what I call the roll-off CDLA truck coming in there every 10 or 12 days to put new dumpsters in, take out the old dumpsters all full of trash, and in between that time, you had the birds picking at the garbage, so on and so forth. So that's all I'm going to say about that. Next is zoning ordinance 29-11. There's no storage, there's no permit option per the January 25th, 2018 ZBA report. You can refer to it at your own leisure. But it does say, I believe it's on page 3 or 4. Actually, it's on page 3, I believe. And the 4th page has to do with Dan McCarthy just saying about the same things that Attorney Corrigan said. There's no accessory storage container that's usage that's about 3.5 feet actually on lot number 18. And Dan McCarthy and Wilder Pimentel were out to the lot on August 6th. I believe that was a Wednesday. And Dan took out what I call like the engineering wheel, and he measured from our stake that's been in the ground for 37 years, which demarks the borderline as it meets lot number, we're in lot number 17, as it meets lot number 18. He wheeled out and he said, you're right. He's about a little bit better than 3.5 feet over with that. Plus, there's more to it than that. For example, if I get down into 29-14, the layback laws, if he pushed the dumpster back, which is only about 6 or 7 feet from the sidewalk, to the distance of 20 feet back, he'd be blocking the side accessory door, and he'd be in trouble with Chief Delaney. Can't do that. Anyway, let me continue about 29-11 so we can get out of here. There's no outdoor storage bumpers or metal parts, either on lot number 19, which I said is at the fringe, and Peter Blanchett did issue a citation, I believe recently, when he's now, with the help of Andrea McCann, who's the city prosecutor, taking this case into housing court regarding that as well. There's no outdoor storage or warehousing pertaining to the container that's been over there for years. Also, going back to Richard Rivera, who's now the director of the zoning board. We had a conversation, I believe it was in July of 2022, and he said, I've told Peter, I've told zoning repeatedly, that container has to go. Nothing's been done. 17, well, he actually put that container on there May 25, and we have pictures, but I'm not providing because I've already provided it before to various people, Peter as well. That that storage container, which is approximately 25 or 26 feet long, it's about 8 feet high and 8 feet wide, has been on there since May 25, 2018. We have pictures to prove it. In other words, we took pictures. There was no container on there on May 22nd, May 24th, but on May 25th there was. Bingo. We got it. So that's not allowed. It's just, let's get to the reasons why. 29-14 and 29-15. These are the layback laws that state that the container is not 20 feet back from the front of the building. Okay, they're not. And you can't do that because the container does not have a permit. It's an accessory storage use.
Go ahead. We're just
I
making sure
didn't give you
we're
the
making
same-
sure we're getting the ordinances. I just was talking to my colleague about
I
it.
didn't give them to you. I'm quoting them.
Okay.
Okay? But if you want them, honest to God, you can consult with two people. You could go directly to Dan McCarthy. You can go online. That's the second way. And the third way is you can go right upstairs to Peter Blanchett and ask him, could you please give me the zoning laws that Petrillo quoted you since way back when? I mean, I gave him the same set of laws, and to prove what I'm talking about is, and I thought it was pretty audacious. Maybe about 4 or 5 days before August 12th, when they had to go to court for the city of Lawrence with the housing court, he says to me, hey, Jeff, do you have a copy of Judge Liu's order? And I looked at him, I says, you mean the one that I gave you like 4 or 5 times? And he says, yeah, I can't find it. So I says, yeah, I got it. We went up into his office, he took a Xerox copy of it, because I'm a good guy, and I gave it to him, right? So what I'm saying is, he knows, and you can go to him, and you can ask him for it.
I got it. You made a point.
Okay.
Clear. Finish.
So,
Please.
like I said, you can't do that because it's an accessory storage use, and it requires a permit, just like an accessory building requires a permit. Plus, you can't do that because it's not attached to the grandfathered building. So you can't do that. There's more awareness. And you can't get a special variance permit because, again, per the 125/2018 ZBA report, it does not qualify for a special variance permit because there's no permit option. So, and also I already said this, you can't do that because if you push back the storage container 20 feet, you'll be blocking the side access and egress door to the building, and he'd be in a load of trouble with Chief Delaney. Let's go to 29-23. We're almost there.
You've got, honest to goodness, Mr. Petrillo, we've been on this now for longer than the rest of the meeting. We may have been on here for close to half an hour-ish.
And this is it.
Yeah, I've heard that before.
But you
This
know
is it.
something, you've been doing a lot of talking yourself, I have to say. And I mean that with all due respect.
And a lot of respect has not been considered in that comment, Mr. Petrillo, but please, I would like for you to wrap it up because I do want to read what you sent to us. So
I
please
am.
wrap it up.
I am.
Okay.
I'm doing it right now, see? I'm halfway down the page.
Halfway.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So this is the basic 100-foot law that Dan McCarthy discusses in his September 13, 2018 report that he sent to the city council. What we're saying is the dimensions of the lot is only 50 feet wide. you can't stretch 50 feet to 100 feet. He goes further on more to say that the owner wants to make it 0 inches, okay? And the distance from the side of the building on the South Broadway side to lot number 18 is about 10 feet. So that's lot number 19 to lot number 18. It's only about 10 feet. You can't do that. You can't. It doesn't qualify, and it's not grandfathered. Uses of acetylene in building, acetylene torches and so on and so forth, gases inside the building, whereas the building was built in 1937 to 1939, and it's not coded as explosion-proof. Okay, so you can't do that. And what it does is, under the Fire and Safety Massachusetts laws, it expands the distance from the body shop or the lot line where lot number 19 meets 18 to 200 feet. And again, the frontage is only 50 feet. So you can't do that either. And I referred you to the September 13th, 2018 Dan McCarthy report. Lastly, we got Mass General Laws 40A, Section 5 of spot zoning, and we're going to talk about, I already talked about that in the Dan McCarthy's September 13th report that you have over there, that it's spot zoning is basically solely the sole benefit of the lot owner. Then we go on to 29-23, number 4. It's paragraph 4. It's detrimental to the neighborhood, does not promote any public interest. Lastly, we have 29-23, number 6. It's that lot in the closest stake, which is closest to the body shop as it meets the sidewalk, is not 400 feet from the nearest car wash. And that's in 29-26. In my estimation, it's lucky if it's 250 feet. I'm saying 225 feet. Then we have Mass General Laws number 140, which I brought to Peter Blanchett's attention many times. And I said, these are the Massachusetts junkyard laws, and there's 3 bullet points. It has to be solely stored inside the building. We're talking about all the body parts, so on and so forth. Either on the fringe of lot number 19 as it meets 18, and definitely per the judge's order on lot number 18. B, it has to be more than 1,000 feet. If you're gonna get a junkyard license from the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, there's an application process. You first have to do it in the city, and he would be denied. But let's just say furthermore that he was approved. Then it goes to Boston for approval. He would never get it because they would send somebody out here to take pictures, and they would go, oh, well, wait a minute. It's not more than 1,000 feet from the nearest highway. And then they would go, see, it's not more than 600 feet from any other state highway, which is Route 28. I mean, the distance from the lot and every sidewalk, to my knowledge, is only 10 feet wide. It's only 10 feet. You need 600 feet as a minimum. So that's that. And here's the last one, and we can go home. It's Mass General Law 48, Section 5. It says that spot zoning does not allow accessory storage on a residential zone lot solely for the benefit of the owner receiving special treatment. And I already read that to you in September 13, 2018, Dan McCarthy report. Mass General Law 48, Section 7, State Building Commissioner, what he did was he was told by DePena, he said that Blanchett has to enforce Judge Lew's 329, 2021 ruling and order, restraining order. Judge Lew's basically said in that, as I read to you in the beginning, there's no permitted use, not of an R2 residential 2 zoning designation on that lot. So there we go. And that one is entitled basically the jurisdiction from the Superior Court ruling and order. And it basically says that either the building commissioner or the DIS inspectors or the DIS directors have to look into the judge's ruling in order, and they have to enforce it. And if they don't enforce it, it says right here, he shall notify in writing the parties such within 14 days of receipt of such request. We made that request back in 2022, 2023.
Did anywhere in that, did it say go to the Lawrence City Council? Did anywhere in that document, did it say for appeal rights, go to the Lawrence City Council, or any city council? It says go to the party. Repeat that again?
It's only saying that the responsibility is to the inspector of buildings, building commissioner, or local inspector, and or if there are none in a town, the board of selectmen or person on board designation by local ordinance or bylaw shall be charged with the enforcement of the zoning ordinance. That's all it's saying. And what I'm saying is that in all these instances, we've narrowed it down over the years to one individual. And I'm sorry to say this, I'm not trying to throw anybody under the bus. That's Peter Blanchett. He's failed miserably. And so just so you know what I'm talking about, my wife and I and our attorney had a meeting upstairs in Peter's office on July 20th, 2025. And finally, our attorney asked him the question, have you ever fined him? Peter stopped in his tracks, put his head down, he said, no. And he didn't only say him, he said, I want to know if you've ever fined the prior owner, which is Paul Martineau Jr., or you've ever fined Angelo Memolo of A&M Auto Body. And he said, no. That's the truth. So that's where it stands.
Okay.
And again, going back to what I originally said, we're here for an awareness, which I think we've done. And believe me, I have no more stuff to give to you. And this is what I was told to do. And
You were told to do this by whom?
my attorney said, what you do, right, and this is what I told you. And in fact, I said this to Teresa Vega. I said, I'm going to be here tonight to tell the city ordinance committee an awareness of the zoning laws so that, you know, we can have zoning enforcement, not by the city council, so that it can filter up through the city.
How? How does that get filtered up? Is this-
Easily.
How?
Isn't it true that Mayor DePena has a meeting every Monday with figureheads?
What does this have to do with the ordinance committee meeting and the figureheads that the mayor meets every Monday?
I don't know what it has to do, but it also has to do with what I said in the beginning, that the purpose of an ordinance committee is to that you're to get an awareness of the zoning laws that have been violated, so that, and I know I said this at least 2 or 3 times, okay? Well, it's the part over here where I said, ordinance committees are part of a municipality. It goes on to say, who research specific ordinances, which I've given you, okay, for an awareness. And then it goes on to say, matters of zoning ordinances or public safety, then discuss the potential impact. That's why I did this, so we can discuss the potential impact and then make recommendations for the full city council to approve or reject. That's it. That's my purpose, to make the city ordinance committee have a sense of awareness of what the zoning violation laws are, which I think I did.
Yep.
And then request to the city ordinance committee to filter it up to the full city council to accept or reject.
Reject or accept what?
Rejecting.
You just said we're making an
the
awareness.
idea of there's been no enforcement.
Thank you, Mr. Petrillo. We've received your comments. You may stay there if you would like. I will now read what you sent to the city clerk on June 11th, 2025. to the city clerk. This is what's put on the agenda. This is what we're supposed to be here for. The Petrillo family from 341D South Broadway, Lawrence, Mass. would like to be put on the next city council agenda in order to be heard at the following city council ordinance committee meeting held thereafter. Also, Councilor Mark LaPlante has already discussed a few points about what we want to bring forward. According to Mr. LaPlante, he already knows about what our, I can't read that word is, request to be heard at the next city council and ordinance committee meeting. The request that you have before the, that you put on the city council agenda, document number 27925, was to be heard at the ordinance committee meeting, apparently to discuss, didn't specify specifically, but
Part of it was,
but what you're dealing with right here. I think that this ordinance committee meeting has satisfied the request that you've had, that you placed on here. So I'm looking for a motion to either withdraw this motion to send it up to the full council, or send it as a committee report. It doesn't make a difference.
Well, let's not
But he's
forget-
able to satisfy, you were able to satisfy what your request was, Mr. Petrillo, which was to address this committee, which we did for over half an hour. Looking for a motion. Either to withdraw or to send as a committee report. Either way, I would urge you to withdraw because we've satisfied what he wanted, because he specifically said ordinance committee, which we did.
well, part of that was because you asked me to determine whether zoning fines are only $300 per day, and I said to you, it's not. That was part of the reasoning. The other part of the reasoning was, and I spoke at the last two city council meetings about,
Mr. Petrillo, we have your document. I read exactly what it is that you wanted to accomplish. We spent the last, at least now, 30 minutes, probably more,
that's fine.
listening. There were questions. It was a back and forth. There were questions regarding laws. There were questions regarding other things. There were questions, and you answered them as best as you could. I appreciate that. Other colleagues can speak for themselves. I appreciate that, and now we've satisfied it. So now the question before the committee is, what do we do with this document?
Motion to withdraw document 27925.
Motion made. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion made has been properly seconded. Discussion? See no further discussion. I'll call the question. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ayes have it. We're going to send this up to the full council on for the next meeting of September the 18th. We have satisfied your request at this committee as you written in this document. You may show up at the 18th, of course. You're welcome to.
I just want to know, are you going to also deny what I read about Kitty versus the city of Springfield to extend it to 2 years?
Mr.
That's-
Petrillo, our rules suggest or state that if whatever you put before on the council, this is what you put before the council. It was not about all the other stuff. You wanted to have a discussion, which we did, which you went through all the various laws, case studies, you went to planning board decisions, you've been to discussions you've had with city officials. We've listened to all these different things. I've learned a thing or two this evening. I appreciate that as well. I'm frankly more aware than I was before I came here tonight. So as far as I'm concerned, you actually accomplished your mission by making it. I'm not speaking for any other counselors because it's not. I can't go into their head, but I can speak for myself and tell you that I'm more aware than I was before I came tonight. So mission accomplished, Mr. Petrillo. I am more aware. As far as what we can do, if there is a specific thing that you wish this city council, a specific item, you would need to put that on the agenda. Something specifically that you want the council to do. We can't just. We're a body that works on and we deal with motions. We deal with action. And sometimes a review, like what you're doing here, is appropriate. We've had a chance to do it, but it's also a review. I want to be clear about this. The review has to be tangential and something that we have jurisdiction over that we can do, right? So let me finish. If you have a proposal based on your experience that you want to change the zoning law based on something,
I don't want to change the zoning laws.
then that's something that you can submit to the council, and then we have a substantive discussion on that. But right now, you wanted to have a discussion. We've honored it. It's been withdrawn because we've taken care of your business. We have a very liberal, and I say that in a very positive way, policy with respect to putting things on the agenda. Almost anybody can put something on the agenda almost at any time, and it rarely does anything get struck. So you're welcome to go ahead and put something else on the agenda. Council President makes the decision ultimately, but
What I also said was at the end, I was open for discussion, for feedback. In other words, what is it that you can do or you can't do?
It's not what you said in this letter, Mr. Petrillo.
Forget the letter.
No, this is what we have. This is what the public document is, Mr. Petrillo. This is why you put this on the agenda. This is not a feedback about what you can and cannot do. You have exhausted and have talked to, I don't want to continue this. You've talked to and exhausted the discussions with various city officials on the enforcement side of things. You rightly have struck the right person and the right organization in the department that deals with it. I'm not going to go back and forth with you. That's ISD. They have the authority. You went to the right place. You went to the right place with the planning department to try to get an opinion based on the situation that you found yourself in. You received that. The question now is, what is ISD doing about that? And and you have an attorney, Mr. Petrillo. I don't want to know what his advice is to you, but you should be asking him, based on this information that you have, besides doing what you did this evening.
We already know the result of that.
Besides doing what you did this evening, what else can you do? And if there's something this council can do, put it on the agenda. We will deal with it. Put it on the agenda. We're not going to go back and forth, Mr. Petrillo.
No, I don't want to go back and forth with you.
Okay.
I just, instead of you giving me this speech, I asked you, I said, I would tell
Okay,
you.
Mr. Petrillo.
And
I
then
think
at
we're
the
done here,
very
Mr.
end, I
Petrillo.
asked you for a discussion to tell me what the city
Mr.
ordinance committee can do or what they can't do.
And Mr. Petrillo,
And
I
if
think
there's
I
still-
think I just answered your question,
You
Mr.
did.
Petrillo. I
Nothing.
just said, I'll repeat, and this is honest to goodness, this is the last thing I'm going to say this evening. I am on this topic, which is this. If there is something substantive that you want to put on the city council agenda that deals with something that we as a city council can do, you have every right to do that.
Okay.
And if you feel like you're going to make our city better with that, I encourage you to do that. I
Okay.
encourage you to make our city
got
and our
it.
ordinances better. I encourage that.
I got
But right now, we have satisfied what you wanted us to do.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Mr. Petrillo.
Thank you for listening.
You're welcome.
Councilors. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
We're going to go to the top of the agenda, councilors. If I can find it. I have it. Thank you. New business. 36625, issuing of a livery license. I'm looking for a motion to table.
Motion to table 36625.
Motion made and properly second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ayes have it. 36725, resident parking only, Jackson Terrace between Jackson Court and Newberry Street. This is from Council Luzon. Looking for a motion.
Motion to send to the police department for review.
Second.
Motion made and properly second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ayes have it. 36825, resident parking Albion Street. Looking for a motion.
Motion to send to the police department for review.
Second.
Motion made and properly second. Discussion. See none, I'll call the question. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ayes have it. 36925, handicap parking at 93 Greenwood Street. Looking for a motion.
Motion to send to the police department for review.
Second.
Motion made and properly second. Discussion. Seeing none, I'll call the question. All in favor, say aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. 37025, handicap parking, 288 High Street. Looking for a motion.
Motion to send to the police department for review.
Motion made and properly second. Discussion. Seeing no discussion, I'll call the question. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ayes have it. 37125, handicap parking, 40 Albion Street. Looking for a motion.
Motion to send to the police department for review.
Second.
Motion made and properly second. All in favor, say aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. 372, no parking North Street, North Side. Looking for a motion.
Motion to send to the police department for review.
Second.
Motion made and properly second. Discussion. Seeing none, I'll call the question. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ayes have it. 37325, childcare parking, 80 Coolidge Street. Looking for a motion.
Motion to send to the police department for review.
Second.
Motion made and properly second. That's all we send on the childcare, just the police? That's it? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ayes have it. 37425 Hillside Ave, one-way from Yale Street to Haverhill Street in a southerly direction. Looking for a motion.
Motion to send to the police department and the engineer department for review.
Motion made. Is there a second? And seconded. Discussion. Seeing none, I'll call the question. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ayes have it. 37525 Ames Street, one-way from Havel Street to Yale Street in a northerly direction.
Motion to send the police department and the engineering department for review.
Second.
Motion made and properly second. All in favor, say aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. Document 38125, resident parking Bromfield Street. Looking for a motion.
Motion to send the police department for review.
Second.
Motion made and properly second. Discussion. Seeing none, I'll call the question. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ayes have it. Councilors, I know we want to get out of here. There were documents here from January of 2023. We're almost the 3-year mark on it. Nothing has happened. I'd like to start cleaning up our agenda slowly.
Can I?
Go ahead. You got something?
Yeah, I want to take, if it's
Yeah, go ahead.
okay,
What do you got?
out of order and out of table, can I take it as a package? 313, 31325, 31425, and 31525, which is resolution on some firefighters.
A motion to take them as a block. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion made and properly second. All in favor, say aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. Go ahead, Counselor. I do. Excuse me.
A huge letter from that lady, and also I redacted another letter to attach to this document, and it was sent all to the city clerk office. Then it's, that's fine.
Counselor, I see it right here. 313? 25? No, it's inside your regular book, not the. Here, will this help you? Here, take it. Just take your time.
Thank you, Councilor Blanchard. I'm going to talk to him, I'm going to talk to it, it's a package, it's the same thing. It's in recognition of a heroic service, and I'm going to briefly read that on the morning, early morning on April 19, 2025, the son of Ramona Tavares, which is the co-host of this, urgently knocked on the doors of the Lawrence Fire Station Injured 8, located on Ames Street, seeking help for his mother. Without hesitation, these 3 brave firefighters answered the call. Upon arriving at 296 Ames Street, they found Miss Tavares unconscious and immediately redeemed critical and first aid. Their quick action, professionalism, and dedication were instrumental in stabilizing her until she could be transported to the hospital. According to the emergency room staff, Ramona Tavares is alive today because of the life-saving response of the firefighters, which it was firefighter Jimenez Murphy and Ventura. So on Ramona Tavares' request, she would like us to actually recognize 3 firefighters, and we put something in, and I would, if I can, send it to a full council to consider or to adopt the recognition of the resolution.
I'm looking for a motion to send document, is there a motion? There's a motion to send document 3/13/25 honoring firefighter Gene Jimenez, document 3/14/25, a resolution honoring firefighter Joseph Murphy, and 3/15/25, a resolution honoring firefighter Wilson Ventura. There's a motion to send this up to the full council with favorable recommendation by Councilor Del Rosario. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Council Vice Chair Reyes. Any further discussion on this matter?
Discussion, Chair. And I know we have a meeting on the 18th, if I'm not mistaken, but we're planning to do recognition right at the Station 5, Engine 8. So Ms. Tavares can attend. She lives across the street. She already actually bought some plaques that she wants also to provide to the firefighters, and I'm working on a day so we can make the time and go to the fire station, Engine 8, which is on Ames Street. So I will keep you guys in the loop on the day, which is going to be
After the 18th.
after the 18th. Yeah. Thank you.
This motion has been made and properly seconded. No further discussion. I'll call the question. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ayes have it. I'll take that book back. Thank you. All right. So back to my original begging. Yeah, let's just start doing this because it's just going to keep adding. Document 923, 50-minute parking. Nothing has happened. This is, no one's been barking about this. Sometimes what's happened, some of these things have already gone up, and they're just, whatever. Looking for that one. The next one is 25322, a traffic study at Hamlet Street. The counselor from that area has not, maybe something has already happened. It's been year 3 on this, beyond. I haven't heard boo on it. If the counselor wants it sent back, I'm sure she will, and I'm sure the council president will send it back, so that shouldn't be a problem. But in the meantime, it's been sitting here. We should move that out. 15722, a new light pole on Howard Street on Platt. It may have already happened. Anyway, all these are the same. I'll read them all off and ask if we can make a motion to withdraw. 20421 is a pay stipend. That's already, frankly, that's the second time we have it. We should only have one item, and the council president put that on as well. That not in order because we already have one item on it, but it's there, and let's just make it easy and withdraw this one. 16721 is parking at 15 minutes at 121 Bailey Street. That's yours. I'll let you speak to that.
Yeah, I can file, I would also.
Okay.
Follow the consistency.
Okay.
Double check if there is one.
Okay. 11819, installation of fences around vacant lots. Again, nothing happened. Refer it to the city attorney. You know, I'll let Councilor Levy deal with that. Last year we did ask for a response. I haven't heard anything, but, and the last one is 11019, traffic study on Swan Street. Councilor De La Cruz, not here, haven't heard anything. And 112 is traffic study on East Havel Street, same thing. We can send all those back. I'm looking for a motion, and if a counselor says, no, I don't want to, well, we'll kind of, we'll send it
Motion to
back.
withdraw?
Motion to withdraw all of those items. Did you get all those, Maria?
Yeah, on the last page.
Last page. Motion's been properly made and properly seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing none, I'll call the question. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ayes have it. Please state on there, if you don't mind, Maria, these items have been there for, some of them have been there for 6 years, and some have been here for approaching 3 years, 2.5 years for sure. So, and the committee is willing, I think, to, if there's an interest, to deal with it, but there needs to be an interest. Okay, anything else, councilors? Because if not, we're going to adjourn. Looking for a motion.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Discussion. Seeing none, I'll call the question. All in favor, say aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. Thank you.